Hi, this is Matthew Clark in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm just making some coconut yogurt, cultured coconut yogurt, and I wanted to talk to you about the microbiome. The microbiome, if you're not familiar with it, it's all the little organisms that live in and on our body. We have more microorganisms in our gut than we have cells in our human body. When I learned this a few years ago, I took it upon myself and I wrote the affirmation that I am going to be a host for the best forever. And I dug into the research and I started fermenting. I started with kombucha and kimchi, sauerkraut, and then I eventually worked my way into growing my own probiotics with different water kefirs and tea, and then I've taken it to the next level with tea, kefirs, and different food cultures, like this is cultured coconut yogurt, and it has miraculously changed my life, giving me so much energy, giving me so much vitality. I haven't been sick once since I started doing this. It is absolutely amazing, so I definitely want to share this with you. So the microbiome, so they do a lot for us. These little microorganisms, we have a symbiotic relationship with them. And we basically provide room and board for these little organisms, and they help us create hormones, they help us give us energy, they help us digest our food, they help turn one nutrient, vitamin, or mineral into another vitamin, and they do a whole lot for our body. So I mean, the science is still rolling in with the microbiome project, and it is it's absolutely incredible. The more we learn, the more I realize how important the microbiome is. And through experimentation and focusing on it, I've learned how much that flooding my bodies with probiotics on a daily basis with these different foods and drinks has really upgraded my entire life. So a little bit, the microbiome, it's there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. I don't like to really call it bad bacteria, but the reality is there's parasites, and the parasites, what they do is they live off the host. So they live off the host without actually giving back to the host. Where the unbeneficial bacteria, or the beneficial bacteria, actually give back to the host. So like we provide room and board for them. We give them a place to stay. We give them food, and in return, they want us to thrive. They want us to thrive so we can go out there and continue to give them food and give them what they need, give them their nourishment. So it's and this isn't just in the gut. The gut is kind of been the main focus for most people when they talk about the microbiome, and and it does play a huge role. But the microbiome is actually all over our skin. It's in our hair. It's in every organ and gland in our body, and they're kind of running the show. I mean, there's more of them than there are human cells in the human body. So we're not, you could call us human, but we're really more microbes than we are human. So we really have to respect this. And most things in today's society kill these microorganisms. Antibiotics. What is an antibiotic? It's anti-life. What's a probiotic? It's pro-life. Okay, so antibiotics from the doctors, from hand sanitizer, kills 99.9% of yada yada yada, kills, yes. And if we want to live in symbiotic relationship with them, we don't want to kill them. In fact, they help. If you have the more of the good guys you have, they are kind of like the SWAT team for the bad guys. So if a bad guy gets in, if one of these parasites comes in, they crowd it out. They're like the SWAT team, and they come and take out that parasite. But if you're overrun with parasites, it's kind of like living in the ghetto. You have a bunch of gangsters running around. you know, and that's not what I want in my body. You know, I want to, you know, I want a life in my body, and all these microorganisms that are beneficial for our body actually live symbiotically together like an ecosystem. So there's an ecosystem in our body, you know, just like a rainforest. So, you know, you could be living in a body that has waterfalls and trees and birds and butterflies, or you could be living in a desert, you know, with you know, very few things and like a rattlesnake, you know, just you know, that's all you see in a tumbleweed, you know. So like, what kind of body do you want to live in is the question when you decide what to eat, because this, especially in the gut, like the internal, it's based on what we eat. So everything has microorganisms on them, all living foods. So when you pluck an apple from a tree, or take some lettuce or an herb, that there's microbes living on that. So when we eat that, that is what comes into our body. So naturally we would just be getting it from the earth if we were just walking around picking fruits and vegetables. But in today's society, when we go to the grocery store, that apple, that spinach was most likely picked weeks ago on a farm, you know, possibly in another country, if not on the other side of the country, and put in a truck and shipped here. A lot of things die off in that process. So once we get it, and then we bring it home, we wash it. Some people rinse it in tap water, which has all sorts of stuff that also kills, like chlorine. That's going to kill the microbiome as well. So we really have to take care of this, and so supplementing with the probiotics is a great way to do this, and you can actually grow your own probiotics with these cultures. I'll go more into how to do that in future videos, but I just wanted to get this out there and spread the word that probiotics, fermented foods, kimchi, sour, you know, whatever fermented foods and drinks that you can get, just be careful about the sugar, because a lot of these, you know, a lot of what you find in the store might have added sugar afterwards. So always look at the sugar content and make sure they're not adding processed sugar to it after they do the ferment. Make sure it's living, it's not pasteurized, because if they pasteurize it, basically means they boil it and they've killed it. So you want to put good living foods with living organisms in your body if you want to survive and thrive in the 21st century. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. There will be more to come, and wishing you the best day ever.